Well, welcome everyone. Joanne Nistico, and I am in a small town called Warrenton, Virginia, after living on a very large 70-acre farm in the hills of Virginia. This is kind of nice to be sequestered in a community that I have people around me, so at least neighbors anyway. So we're glad to have you here. We do have this weekly luncheon to sit in your home and enjoy the comfort of being there and seeing some like-minded people who want to be a part of the health and wellness world and being a part of the solution. So I was really happy to see this YouTube clip because I don't watch the news. I don't like to watch the news. So this is SGN, some good news. This is the kind of news I probably watch. So let's take a minute and watch John Kaczynski.
Good evening, everybody, even though it is very clearly the afternoon, and welcome to SGN. John, what is SGN? That's a good question. For years now, I've been wondering, why is there not a news show dedicated entirely to good news? Well, desperately seeking my fix somewhere else, I reached out to all of you this week, asking, nay, begging, for some good news. And boy, did you deliver. After reading those replies and the incredibly heartwarming stories that came with them, I thought, all right, enough is enough, world. Why not us? Why not now? So, ladies and gentlemen, this is your fault, and this is SGN. I'm John Krasinski, and if it isn't clear yet, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. And now for some good news. And what a week for good news it was. Because yes, without question, we are all going through an incredibly trying time. But through all the anxiety, through all the confusion, all the isolation, and all the tiger king, somehow the human spirit still found a way to break through and blow us all away. Nowhere was that seen more powerfully than in the heroism of the global healthcare community. Now, these men and women are working day in and day out. They are putting their own health on the line. They are putting their own lives on the line for complete and total strangers. And they're doing it without the need for so much as a thank you. Well, luckily the thank yous came anyway. And the heartfelt appreciation was seen on a global scale. In Spain, police lined the street outside their local hospital and flashed their lights and applauded their appreciation for their hospital staff. In London, an ICU nurse told her boyfriend she didn't believe there would be any clapping. She was wrong. Even out at sea, NATO sailors and staff applaud their healthcare heroes back home, from their command centers, the decks of their ships, and even underwater. The love and appreciation was felt right here at home in the U.S., whether from the balconies of lit-up apartment buildings to the old-fashioned up-close and personal kind, where a man holds up a sign simply saying thank you to the hospital staff for saving his wife's life. And of course, you can find more of those amazing images and videos on our Facebook page. Or let's be honest, pretty much anywhere else on the internet. For instance, if you're looking for...
Okay, well, with that, we wanted to share that uplifting news and information. Again, some good news that we all need. And Pam, would you just share a little bit about what our mission and purpose is? You on mute, Pam?
There we go. Thank you.
Okay.
So, John Krasinski, he sets the tone for positive attitude and optimism and hope. And isn't that a great thing? You can check him out. He does a weekly broadcast, and it's so refreshing right now. The other thing that's really refreshing is the way we are approaching wellness, the way we have always approached wellness, and that's from the point of view from prevention and education. And part of our mission and our mantra and our touchstone and our anchors has always been to be well and to change sick care to well care. And how exciting is that to be able to offer people to approach health from the point of view of taking charge of you first, taking charge of the things that you put into your body, the food that you choose to eat every day, the air that you breathe, the water that you drink, all of this contributes to our good health. And that's what we're about. And it's really an exciting time to put that message forward in a more outward kind of way. So let's take a look at the next slide, Joanne. Or Scott, whoever's advancing the slide. So are you sequestered in place? I love this slide because I know, even though I work from home all the time here, and I'm blessed to do that, I'm not able to go to my local gym for my usual workout or the YMCA for the usual little training that I do. Other things have fallen away. So sometimes I have to discipline myself to get up and move around and do more at home in my little stations that I've created. So in addition to moving more, we're going to talk about ways that we can maybe help that tight pants syndrome that's going on right now.
And you can blame me all for this slide. As I was saying, oh, that birthday cake that I made for myself, I didn't have other people to eat it with me except Terry. So it's kind of was a choice of taking care of myself as well and making better choices.
Right. So we're going to talk about healthy weight today. In past, we've covered healthy nutrition, immunity. We've talked about healthy beauty, and we will continue to talk about these topics going forward in slightly different ways each Wednesday. We talked about healthy home last week, specifically as relates to Earth Day and the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. And sports nutrition will be coming up soon in our agenda. So today we just want to focus a little bit on what it means to have healthy weight and some tips and some ideas about how to achieve that.
So we have Sue Ann who's going to explain this lovely picture as well as some of the information on this slide.
Okay, thanks, Joanne. Well, I'm very happy to be sharing, healthy eating habits. And I know for many of you on the call, this is kind of like preaching to the choir, but this is also a good reminder. Joanne, I didn't have a birthday, but I made a cake and I shared it with my neighbors because otherwise it's like we're kind of sequestered in our homes, and it's easy because a lot of these kind of things that we gravitate towards, the higher carbohydrate things, are very sedating, but they also kind of expand our waistline. So this was really good to get back on track for all of us. And eating healthy can be fun. This is my little grandson, Camden. He will be 1 year old in May. And his parents are so excellent about feeding him organically. Here he's eating his chicken sausage and parsnips and couscous. And he's been eating all organically since he could start eating food. So he is just this healthy little guy, and I just love him. We have some ideas of substituting, non-healthy things for healthy things. And, you can take a look. I kind of go by the 80-20 rule. If 80% of the time you're eating healthy, 20% of the time you can have that birthday cake. You can eat that burger. You can have something that, that you enjoy, but it's a special occasion. And I know when I go into the grocery store, I'm very blessed to have a wonderful Wegmans across from me. And when I walk in, it's the wonderful produce section. And when we grocery shop, we want to go around the outside where the foods are whole. We pick up our good healthy proteins. We pick up our good healthy produce and vegetables, fruits. And then we go and get our healthy, dairy or non-dairy. I'm right now on cashew milk. I know that was mentioned last week, I believe, in our smoothie drink. I love cashew milk. So, it's easy to shop well. Stay away from the middle sections because that's where we find more processed things.
And it seems today, where we are today in the country and what's happening, I love to grocery shop. I know a lot of people don't like to, but I don't like house cleaning, but I do like to grocery shop. And now I go in and I really go for what I need and want, and then I'm out. So we're not spending as much time, and also not going when you're hungry. That's the worst thing to do because I know I look at the donuts when I'm hungry and I'm grocery shopping, and I haven't had a donut in years. So again, it's the choices we make. There's processed foods, over processed foods. I remember being told, I can share one little story about being told that we showed a picture of a chef with a table, and on the table it had no food, but he had a bowl, and he said he ended up getting all these chemicals and putting them together and stirring them up and having a pie tin and pouring them into the pie tin, and he goes out from underneath the table and pulls up a key lime pie. That was what the key lime pie was made of, all the ingredients and all the over processed. So reading labels, everybody, is really critical when we're shopping. So clean eating tips, Sue Ann.
Right, and that dovetails with Joanne was just talking about clean eating tips. You want to pick things that are not processed, because when they're processed, it means that different nutrients have had to be taken out, or they've actually been made in a chemistry lab. Part of my dental hygiene training was in nutrition, and one of our chemistry classes was making flavorings, and they were all chemical flavorings, and that's what is used in some foods still today. And we know that we can have healthier food colorings that are colored with vegetable juices and fruit juices. And so we have to be good label readers. It can take a little bit more time. So, while we're sequestered in our homes, maybe for some going online and looking, because trying to look in the stores, like Joanne says, we kind of go in and go out. It's not as much of a fun time to go grocery shopping today, but it is very important. We want to do fresh whenever possible, because fresh has more nutrients, especially when it's locally grown. If I can't get fresh right now, what I go to is frozen, because canned, a lot of things, when you can it, the heat has to be incorporated into it. Again, takes away some of the nutrients. Two of the things I'm going to highlight here are the healthy fats. So when you're looking for a fat like an oil, you want to have an oil pressed, fresh pressed oil. You don't want any heat extracted into it, because that makes it a bad oil, creates free radicals. And sweeteners. Sweeteners are big in dentistry, because what goes in the mouth can cause decay. The one that's not highlighted here, which I would recommend, especially if you have children, xylitol. Xylitol does not cause the bacteria to become decay producing. And so it's a great sweetener. It's a natural sweetener originally from the birch tree, and it will not cause dental decay. And then as you see there, there's other natural sweeteners that are much healthier than white cane sugar. And then here we have our pretty healthy plate. And when I looked at this, Joanne, when you sent this, I thought, oh my gosh, this is Camden's lunch and dinner plate. It's pretty, it's colorful. When people say, oh, eating healthy is not fun, well, we know that they don't know what they're talking about, because look at how pretty that plate is. Not only is it going to be tasty, it's going to be good for their body. And I've been educating people, we've got to keep our immune systems up. So, staying away from the donuts and the excess sugar, which, can you actually use more of your nutrients in a negative effect, can feed cancers. We want to keep our bodies as healthy as we can, because this particular virus is not going to go away. There's still other things that we deal with. And so we have to keep our immune systems up, eat healthy, supplement sensibly, and go out into the big world and tell other people.
Well, it certainly looks beautiful. And I know that also my grandson started with these foods, and when they're young, they don't know the difference. It's as they get older that we have to make it taste good. And someone who makes products taste good is Jennifer Cancio. She sends this beautiful picture of how to make our smoothies taste really good. Jennifer?
Thanks. Yeah, I love smoothies every day. There's hardly a day that I go without my smoothie. And this week's and last week's are smoothies to be eaten with a spoon, because I don't really have a sweet tooth, and I've been lactose intolerant since my 20s. So I think it's been a long time, several decades, since I've had ice cream. So any chance I can get to make something taste like something I haven't had in years, the better. This one, I like to use a liquid Vivix. I take it in the Life Strip, but I like to use it as flavor. I have a fruit salad if Joanne would like me to introduce sometime with the Vivix. But this particular recipe, I call it a berry blast smoothie. So cashew milk or any kind of milk that you like, a cup of frozen mixed berries. And it's that milk berry ratio is what gets it really creamy. So you can do half a cup of berries and more milk, or, you know, work out that ratio for your texture. 2 scoops of vanilla Life Shake. I like to put the Fiber Plan powder in there just to get extra fiber, and a couple handfuls of spinach. You won't even taste it, so put it in there. And then I'll blend it and I'll get to the consistency I want. Pour it in a glass, and you'll see here I put some handful of coconut flakes and oats, and then I drizzled it with Vivix on top, and then I just ate it with a spoon because it's just delicious. So
That looks yummy.
it is yummy. You can put it in a bowl too if you want to, but then that means more dishes to do. So I just stick it in the glass and eat it with the spoon.
Wonderful. And that's actually your kitchen counter?
That's my kitchen counter, and that's my plant to cover up the plug from my Vitamix in the background. Yeah, that's from my kitchen.
All right. Well, I find, you know, I'm not that creative because, like, if I go riding, to go to the barn to go ride a horse, what I usually do is bring my shaker filled with ice, and I like the I call it Physique, but it's not called Physique any longer. BioBuild, and you know, that's what I'll have when I get out of the off riding and I'm in the car, because I like it because it really helps prepare, you know, help my muscles repair. So this looks like a real great lunch though, very tasty. So we have some other things that we really can do to help zip up our pants. Riding is one of them for me. Susie, you want to give us a little bit of help here on exercise?
Yeah, get moving, and that's important, you know, now that we're been sequestered and not going out as much and gyms closed. And, you know, you can even do things in your house. You can do 10 squats, 5 squats, go do something, go do them again when you get up. There's different ways to be creative in the home. I know I have not been exercising as much as I used to, and so the squats are something really helpful that I can do. Consistency is really important, and having the support of other people really helps too. You know, confessing I haven't been doing it helped me stay on track. It helps to increase your heart rate. You know, lifting things using your muscle. You can even use soup cans. You can do things, pick up books and supplement properly, things that are going to work. But it's really important to keep our bodies moving. And that helps our thinking as well, and our brains, and staying happy. It all works together. Let's go to the next slide.
No, Susie, I know I'll go to the next slide, but you and Jennifer are avid tennis players. I mean, you're on the courts quite regularly, so it must be a big, I mean, I'm a yoga, you know, I've been doing yoga, and I can go to the barn where there aren't any people, so I'm sure you and Jennifer miss the tennis.
Yes.
Getting that aerobic exercise as well.
Yep, and that it helps having an appointment, knowing you have to go somewhere to do it. It sort of makes me go out and exercise. So if somebody has an exercise class, you know, it's in your schedule and helps you to go out there. But you were talking about going horseback riding and having the BioBuild to help keep your lean muscle mass. And that is key. That is something I learned from this program, that I used to always think, oh, I just want to lose the weight. I didn't even think about the muscle. But the more muscle that I preserve, the faster my metabolism will go, and I will drop the weight. And it might not show as much on the scale, but it will in my pants. I'll be able to zip up those pants. I won't have to keep blaming the dryer for shrinking my clothes. My, you know, body will come in. So, and we have leucine in our proteins, which is an essential fatty acid, which preserves the muscle mass. And
this is a great visual too of the difference of 150 pounds. You know, what people have noticed by using the program, that some of the program items that we're going to share with it, they lose inches, not so much weight. And it really isn't a diet. It's just firming up the body. and losing weight for those who need to lose weight.
Yeah, it's all lifestyle, and it's so important for even if people are not looking to lose weight, we need to preserve our muscle mass because every day we're losing it. No matter how old you are, you keep losing it. So we need to preserve that. So I use this, you know, I'm at my goal weight, and I have this protein every single day, whether it's in a shake or sometimes I make it as a pudding. I like that consistency. It's something different. So here again, this just reiterates that. So you get off that vicious yo-yo cycle. You don't go back and forth with your weight. Diets will lead to the loss of that lean muscle, in fact, but it'll slow your metabolism because you're not holding on to that muscle. It's really, really important.
Yeah, and most people hate the word diet, like me.
Yeah, it's just, you know, and I will tell you, diets work. They all work, but they don't keep it off. It might be that instant fix, but the weight will come back, and I speak from experience. That's why now for 25 years, I've loved this, just a lifestyle of eating better. And even if I go off the 20% of the time, like Sue-Ann says, doesn't matter because I still have my shake, I'm still having my bars in between, so one thing will not make a huge difference. So here again, build your lean muscle mass, lose the fat and the inches, which are so key, support your metabolism, which will affect your heart, your thinking, so much. It's all tied in together. So remember, you want to retain your muscle mass.
Thank you, Susie. Pam, what other aspects of a good, healthy program can help us zip those pants a little easier?
So one thing that you can take a look at is the 7-day healthy cleanse. And cleansing has been a part of tradition for the human race ever since we became humans and walked on 2 legs, I think, because fasting is a part of many different cultures. It's a part of many different religious avenues, and it's a way. Many different types of cleanses are out there. And the thing that's so nice about thinking about this right now is that we are in a different time. We're home more, and I think we're thinking more about what's really essential in our lives. Joanne mentioned when she shops now, she has a list, she sticks to it, you know, and she just gets what she needs. We are in that time where we're paring down, we're thinking more, and we're doing what's most essential. So it's a great time to consider a cleanse. And really, you can see just from the statistics that are right here, it's not just about your weight loss. It's about a decrease in your cravings and understanding what it means to be satiated, to feel full, how your moods improve. Susie mentions that always when she talks about how she negotiates food in her life, how it really helps her to be in a consistent, stable, happy mood. And sleep. I mean, all these things go into it. It's not just about losing weight. It's about creating a whole new perspective of how you feel, how you sleep, how you feel full. And it's just a neat time to consider doing this.
And it's so convenient too, the way Shaklee has put it together. For me, I need, you know, I can be lazy about certain things and I don't like a lot of detail. So what I love about this is it's in a box, it's simple, it tells you what to do. I follow it and I get the results, and then I can go about my regular routine and not think, you know, have to get too intense about any of it. And it really does work. Okay.
So how do you do it? You know, best thing to do is to find a partner, I think, to do it with, and you set a date and you do all your grocery shopping so that your refrigerator is full of fresh produce and all the good things that should be in there, so you're not tempted to go off the path, and to start really thinking about what you're putting in your mouth. And to that end too, I've been doing a little sideline research on through a Pilates avenue that I have, and it talks about creating a scenario where you're really counting your bites, just to be more aware of what food goes into your mouth. taking smaller bites and chewing more, small bites, and really chewing your food, putting your fork down in between its trips to your mouth. And there's a great, if I don't know if David is on today, but we had, or Jeanette I know is on, through the Blue Zones, which is a study of the world's 7 populations across the globe that live remarkably long and healthy lives. One of these areas they call the Blue Zones is Okinawa, Japan. And in Japan, there is the phrase called hara hachi bu, which you might want to remember. And that is to stop eating when you're 80% full. That you stop, you put your fork down, you're 80% full, and you give your body a chance to appreciate the food that's come in and to actually feel full.
I think I'll type that out and put it on my refrigerator.
Hara hachi bu.
Hara-hachi pu. Okay, thank you.
It's
Jan.
Confucius says. It's a Confucian teaching.
Oh, I like Confucius. I like
Okay.
Confucius. Okay, let's move along to Maria. I make myself laugh anyway. Maria, are you on mute? You're on mute, Maria?
I'm holding
Okay.
down the bar, but I guess it didn't work. So this blog that Shaklee provides for us, I think is a phenomenal tool. For those of us who want to eat more naturally, want to maybe make better choices, stay healthy or get healthier. I love the articles because they are easy to read. They have some wonderful graphics, but the great thing is that they have a variety of wonderful topics. Like for instance, you can find great recipes there that are both beautiful to look at and also delicious to eat. Everything from smoothies to hors d'oeuvres to wonderful dinners. They have suggested workouts that you can just follow the suggestions and have a great 10-minute workout. They have one of my favorite is the article written about protein content in different sources of milk. Many of us are moving away or have already moved away a long time ago from cow's milk, and they talk about the different sources, nut milk, soy milk, and how much protein content each one has. They have one on the keto diet. What is it, and why are people clamoring for it? And what about sugar? Sugar 101, how does it affect us? And just so many wonderful tips. A frequent question that I get is, what's the difference between a prebiotic and a probiotic? And there's an article there as well. So it's just a beautiful, beautiful and well-written source of great information that I think is written so that the layman can do it. I know that I am guilty of this where I get too detailed and I get too much into the theory and the science names, etc. But this is something that is, I think would be great to send out as a newsletter even. So we can all go to the website shown at the bottom and subscribe to it, and it'll come into your inbox, but we can also access it from our member center.
So that's go.shaklee.com/naturally/ It's a small link there on the bottom. And I'm looking at a lot of things here that I don't necessarily go to the blogs that often, but those foods on the far bottom right there, I eat quite often. And it looks like it has a lot of great information, how to stock a healthy refrigerator and pantry. Good stuff that we can all share. Now we have something else available too, Maria.
Yeah.
What's
There's
that?
even one that says, what is a rainbow diet? Some people say eat the rainbow. Well, what does that mean? The average person may not know, and they have an article on that as well. It's really a great, great source for us.
Okay, this is something also that you were going to share with some of the people here, all the people here today. The health quotient, the health print.
The health print, it hasn't changed. The slide hasn't changed, Joanne.
Huh. Okay, it's changing on my end here. So has it changed yet for you?
No, but I'm familiar with
All
it.
right, wait a second. Let me get something happened there. There we go.
Oh, awesome. So the health print, when Shaklee introduced this product, I actually stood and gave them a standing ovation along with many other people, because this is a wonderful tool that people can access from our website. It only takes about 5 minutes to answer 20 questions, and within minutes, they get the results. And the results are not just about supplements. The results are for both diet, which is what we've been talking about today, making better diet choices. It's also about exercise, which we can get suggestions from all over the internet, as well as Susie, if you were close, I'd play tennis with you. And then supplementation. And the supplementation portion is divided into 3 different brackets, financial brackets, so that somebody wants to start really slowly can just do one, or there's an intermediate and an advanced. And they all have the product suggested below, which is so great. And the other thing that I love about this, it tells you where you are, is a great starting point. And then you can go back and do it again 30 days or 90 days later. And the customer, the person who does this, who fills this out, will be notified right away. But so are we. And so we can support people and say, hey, congratulations, you just did this health print questionnaire. Do you have a minute to go over some of the findings and how we can move forward? It's just a wonderful tool. I absolutely love it. And it's based on thousands of studies in the area of diet, exercise, and supplementation.
Yeah, and I liked it because it gave me select suggestions and solutions,
Yeah.
which, you know, about me, you know, it wasn't about what Carolyn is doing or you are doing, but it was all, when I answered those questions, it kind of came up with what I wasn't paying attention to that I should be paying attention to. And it just gave me some simple suggestions. And as you said, it broke it down into affordability. Carolyn, you have some wonderful stories about a gentleman that is a before and after. And this is meaningful, this slide, to me, because my dad died of obesity at 55 years old. And he never got to see his grandchildren. And that was something when he had told me he had cancer at over 350 pounds. He couldn't even be weighed at the hospital with a regular scale. He had to be put into a sling in order to be weighed. He was that heavy. Wonderful guy, absolutely. You know, we had a week full of people down the line of the funeral time, but he just didn't take care of his health. It was an addiction, really, food for him. So I really feel very strongly about what obesity and being overweight can do for people. So Carolyn, you have a nice story about some of the people you've been working with. And you also might be on mute. Okay, well, Carolyn, are you there? All right, well, I'll continue with this then until she comes in. So this would have been possibly easy for him. He did like the supplements. By the way, I have an interesting story about my dad and supplements. I was able to get him on some nutrition, and you know, he would sneak in a big bag of ice cream sandwiches, and I would throw them away and he'd practically kill me. But one of the products I put him on was lecithin and some Vitally and a few other supplements to help him a little bit. He came to me one day with lecithin tablets in the palm of his hand. And I don't know if those who haven't seen the lecithin, they are gold little nuggets. And he had lecithin in the palm of his hand, and he came up to me and he said, I love this product. And do you know what lecithin does? It's a fat emulsifier. He didn't know that. I never said, Dad, that product's a fat emulsifier, but that's what his body needed and wanted. And when he took it, he actually felt the difference. So those are very important elements, that supplementation can be an easy fix for people and for us to get the nutrients in our body that we aren't getting through the food choices that we have. And it's hard to really get all the nutrients through our food. Carolyn, I'll tell her story. She has a guy, Eddie Whiteman,
Yeah,
Carolyn's
Joanne, I apologize. My internet's been going off and on.
That's okay. I know your stories, thankfully, so I could share it. So I was just going to share about Ron and his girlfriend, the two people that you started recently to help them.
That's great. My internet's just gone flashing off and on, and I'll see if I can come in on the.
You're good now. We can hear you fine. Okay, well, I guess we can't hear her fine. And I see, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, it's a great story. This is not actually someone who was obese. It's actually someone who is an athlete, but does it work? Okay, great. Well, if it goes off, it's, you know,
All right, well, go ahead. Tell your story. All right, I'll tell her story. Anyway, Eddie Whiteman's a world-class fishing guide in the Florida Keys, and a friend of his who's also a fishing guide, and probably, I would say he's probably in his early 50s, maybe a little older, I don't know. But he was not feeling good, having too much weight, and Carolyn started him on a program, and he lost quite a bit of weight and felt 20 years younger. And he actually invited his girlfriend to also try the same thing that he was doing, and his girlfriend got great results. So I like to say the proof is in the pudding. As you see Jennifer's beautiful shake, and as we see the beautiful food we're sharing with you, it's not so much as as a diet as it's a lifestyle. And it's making some different choices that we can do to feel better and have more energy and to live life to the fullest. So Shaklee has a challenge, and we ask people to commit to a challenge and get started. It's Prove It Challenge. In 30 days, I will feel leaner. And for those of you who are on the call today and you want to be a part of my 30-day challenge, because I'm going to start, I'm missing fruit so much, and there's good fruit, good fresh vegetables, good lean foods. Join me and we'll get started. I'm going to start the Shaklee Cleanse, and Shaklee is proven to help people thrive healthfully, which is the most important. But without health, we don't have anything really. We have death if we don't stay healthy. But we also have a great business model. And as I was a yoga teacher, really involved in going to the health food store, cooking with brewer's yeast, and all the other things, I found Shaklee from my yoga teacher, who was a purist. But I was a starving yoga teacher. So when I found out that there was a business model that would help empower me to take control of my financial life and help show others, I got interested just as a part-time until I figured out what I was going to do. I was in my early 20s, and I fell in love with the Shaklee people, the Dr. Shaklee story, the philosophy, being in harmony with nature and good health, being a part of the solution, the wonderful people that I met. So for those of you that are taking a look at our health products or a healthier way of living, we're happy to do that for you. Anyone else that you know that you or yourself might know that in this economic crisis, that there's opportunity or possibilities for you as well in that vein. And I have done two things. One is I wanted to do these weekly lunch and learn, and I thank you all of the team here who have helped me, all of you who are attending. That's on Wednesdays every Wednesday, every week. And there's a coffee or tea hour that I'm hosting every Thursday night, and that will alternate between a Skill Up Thursday, which will teaching skills for people who want to improve their skills of how they converse with people, or how they, what they understand. Also, possibility Thursday. Thank you, Scott, or whoever stopped that. Possibility Thursday for real stories for health and income. That'll be on May 14th. So we're going to alternate every Thursday night between Skilling Up and Showing Possibilities, and we'll give the information on the room. We will continue our Lunch and Learn Wellness series for the power to make sense of changes and choices. So everyone's welcome to join us on Wednesday. You can invite all of your guests to come and hear. We're going to do some fun stuff. It's not just talking about product as much as talking about lifestyle changes and choices to help improve the quality of our lives and the lives of our friends and family. So with that, I'm going to open up the call, Scott, and we'll be able to, for those that would like to stay on and chat and share some stories of their own or have questions, we'd love to hear from you. So I'm going to stop sharing, and we can then.
Hey, Joanne, this is Scott. Rather than unmute everybody and have a lot of background noise, I'll just say to everybody, if you've got something to say, just hold down your space bar.
And keep it down, correct, Scott? You have to hold it down, but keep it down. You have to hold it down.
Correct. The picture in my head is Radar O'Reilly on MASH talking into the microphone. You got to hold the button down while you talk.
Okay.
Joanne, I wanted to say something. The health print, I found so much fun to do. Like you said, it, tells about your habits and gives you some advice. There's articles. And if people don't know where to find it, like I just emailed the link to my sister. It's on, if you're not a member, it's on the person who brought you here, their website, or you can ask them to send it to you, but it's
where is it, Susie? I kind of lost where you said it is.
Well, if you're a member, it's in your back office, but if you're not a member, the person who sent you here can send you a link. It's on my website, website for people to come to look at Shaklee.
So we would send it to any of our guests.
Right, so I just send it to my sister if she wants to do it. It's fun to do, it's free, I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is great. And we see a lot of new people that are on today, so please get back to the person who invited you to come to this Lunch and Learn, and they will give you the information. Anybody else have some information or stories or contributions?
I have one. This is
Okay, Jennifer.
Yeah, I actually used to live in Japan for 7 years, so I can vouch for the hara hachibu. And the eating to 80%, so hachibu just means 80%, and hara is full. And my daughter was raised in Japan, and there are certain Buddhist and Confucius philosophies that are just part of how you raise your kids in Japan. And one of them from early on were chew slowly, put your chopsticks down between bites, and same thing in this country. How often do we take a fork and another and another and another, and we maybe chewed once or twice per forkful or spoonful of food, but it was always in Japan, take your chopsticks, eat, put it down, chew thoroughly, and then continue, and then have your next bite. And that's how they can successfully implement hara hachibu, just slowing down. So it's to the point that my daughter would take 45 minutes to eat her meal when she was 3 or 4 years old. We still have very long meals together because that's also the time when family talks and spends time together.
How long were you in Japan?
7 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. I was told 100 chews. That's a lot of chews. I mean, so I guess there's a happy medium, but it's so true. We unconsciously just do this. And unconscious eating, I think that's we owned an Italian restaurant, everybody too. So that's why, it wasn't really good for my dad. And he was the chef cook there. So a lot of pasta, a lot of Italian bread and all that good stuff. My family.
And I wanted to just give acknowledgement to your dad too.
Yeah.
And apologies, my internet, I've never moved. I've never done anything. The internet just decided it was going off and on. So apologies.
Yeah, no problem. I insulted my Italian family completely when I got into Shaklee. It was awful. I went in and said, okay, you can't eat Italian bread. You can't have white pasta. They were ready to kill me. Bad way, not a good communication way to go, everybody.
One other piece of information that that helped me a lot in my weight loss journey just fairly recently was learning through Dr. Westcott last year at the Global Conference was that an important thing in building muscle mass and therefore being able to lose more weight is resistance exercise, followed by proper protein supplementation and that kind of thing. And that also us older folks require more protein to get the same benefit. We don't absorb it as well. So I started working out at the gym that I was paying a membership for anyway, rather than just going out and running 6 to 10 miles every couple of days. And within 2.5 months, I lost 25 pounds and got down to a really good weight.
Yeah, my resistance right now is cleaning a horse that he thinks that mud is his clay mask. And that is really strong resistance moving in my muscles. I was so sore after 40 minutes of that with him. And then after he goes back to the field, guess what he does? He's down in the mud and rolls. So I have to go back, and that's my gym these days. Okay, good stuff. Anybody else? Love to hear it. I usually allow the conversation to go till about 2 for those that want to stay on. We always say it's the meeting after the meeting that's always the most important, because we can hear from everybody who has great insight into what they do. I can share my lunch today. Besides, normally I like cottage cheese, and I had some great kiwi fruit. I've been dyeing fruit, so I just cut up the kiwi fruit and had that normally and mixed that into cottage cheese, and it was delicious. And right here, I'm still having my 16 oranges of the Vitalized Immunity in my glass of seltzer water.
Rochelle looked like she was getting on to say something.
Hi, Rochelle.
Hello, everyone. Just checking in. I'm actually was about to jump off. I got to do I've been doing my 30 days of Shaklee. And this is day 10, I believe. But yeah, just just got re-energized, just with everything. So the team is growing. Got some new members on the team, new distributors and also new members, and got one of my downline members actually got Rodney, got 4 Prove It. So 4 Prove It kits yesterday. Right. So
wonderful. I'd like to meet him. Is he going to be able to be on our Thursday night, do you think, Rochelle?
I'm not sure.
We'd love to meet him if he can get in on our Thursday night. That's a business night. This is, primarily a product introduction for people to get to know the consumer aspect of who we are, but love to meet him.
Yeah. So anyway, so we got some new folks. He got 2 new distributors, and I'm keeping just really got a core. It's a core of us that are really pushing and moving, and so we can have goals every day, and so it just feels good to have some people that are really wanting it, and so it's kind of energizing some of the old people too.
You are the fitness expert. You were manager at a Pilates studio, correct?
Correct.
That's been closed for how long?
Actually, I'm no longer there. But it actually I resigned like a month before the COVID thing happened. But my last day was March 13th, and then it closed that following week due to COVID. But I was already on my way out.
Good timing.
So yeah, it was perfect timing. But it was just taking me away from what I really wanted to do, so it wasn't my dream, but I got him off to a great start, and I enjoyed my time there because it's my environment. So I love it, but it wasn't.
It's hard if you're an entrepreneur and you want to have freedom over your own time to have to go into a brick and mortar. I have never had a 9-to-5 job. So for me, I like being an entrepreneur and having control over my life. And my son sent me something today on, let me read it here. It was interesting because You sent me this, why rural Americans are having a hard time working from home. Well, I don't know anything different. You know, I've worked from home forever, you know, all my entire, 40 some odd years. So I'm interested. It was CNN from CNN, and I thought it'd be interesting. So you probably miss the freedom of your time and when you have to go to a brick and mortar. And I know, Jennifer, you're kind of liking the fact that you are being able to work from home, that the sequestering is more pleasurable because you can actually have time for yourself.
It's been fantastic, actually. So all the time I was teaching, Rochelle, I'm a Pilates instructor, and all the time I've been teaching, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, if I only had more time for Shaklee, more time for Shaklee. So the moment we had our social distancing put in place, I've just been running with it, and so grateful for this time. It's actually going to be hard to go back in a way because of the momentum I've been able to generate with this time at home. I've been loving it.
Yeah, it's a matter of balance and everything, you know, and what you want to do, what your joy is. I teach my children, you know, go for your joy. You don't have to be locked into anything or do anything that you don't want to do. Like Ananor was saying that she loves astrology, you know, and she's been doing it for so many years. She's been doing what she loves. We've been doing what we love. And that's really what's so special. Whether it's even the side things that we like. I'm an equestrian. I've been an equestrian all my life. Shaklee has afforded me the opportunity to be able to have my horse, my stables, actually my farm, to be able to do that. Whether you're doing equestrian, tennis playing, martial arts, cooking, it gives us the freedom to be able to do all of those things.
Hi, Joanne.
Hi, Donna.
I'm actually, I think I've been taught this through Shaklee, and those of you who haven't been in as long as I have, I've been in almost 40 years using it. And I always have learned through the difficulties in my life and building my business is to look at the most negative part of what I'm dealing with and make a positive out of it. And I look at the Corona situation as an extreme positive in our lives in Shaklee, whether you're new or a long timer in Shaklee. I have been utilizing my downtime, working in my yard, being back in touch with the earth and really getting that energy back, hugging the trees, as I said last time. But more importantly, what I'm doing is I'm taking people who, and this is for people who've been in Shaklee a long time, going through my auto ships, and I've downloaded, and I'm going to be sending it out to my team what I'm doing, but I've been calling them, and I'm going like say, hey, Bill, and I'm using the form, FORM, family, occupation, recreation. And what I'm doing is just getting back to them and loving them and caring for them and saying, how's your family? How are you doing through these crises? And they're saying, oh, I'm so glad you called. And I just made 3 calls this morning. One man sent me to he wants me to talk to his teacher, but there's so many people that need what we have. But I don't think we need to go in and sell them. It's just show that we love and care, and that's who we are, and carry that positive energy to these people who are frightened and scared. And I, you know, kind of educate them on the fact that, you know, health has become the new wealth, and, you know, well,
it always has been the wealth, really. But what's interesting is the talk about need for nutritional elements. I, in an email, and I sent it to Lauren. Lauren, hello, Lauren, my virtual assistant. You've been getting the emails from me that she's done. I hope you all have enjoyed those. It's helping. Carolyn's giving thumbs up here. Boy, she's really helping to take off the stress from me from having to produce the things that I want to get done. So we're working really well together, and I'm really enjoying it so much. But I sent her the blog. I think it was the blog that came out on our Optiflora DI and the power of the gut for building immunity. And, you know, it's simple. Being ADD, I need simple and precise and not too much detail. I know my detailed people need the detail, and I love them for it because they teach me the detail. But this is simple, it's to the point, it gives a one-liner, and you know, we can help so many people. I know what's one of my son's favorite products, And he's not necessarily, you know, he's heard it from mom since he was in my belly, and what nutrition can do. So we can promote, Donna. That's good that you're calling your auto ship people and you're letting them know of the value of what we have, because we're not on Main Street. You know, that's what, and I'm glad we're not on Main Street, especially now, you know, because I go on Main Street and it's empty today.
Right. Well, this is not just for people that have been in Shaklee a long time. Use the form to just call people you haven't talked to in a long time.
Sure.
How's your
Care
family?
about people. It's caring about people, which is the number one thing that's important.
With the O, and it's a very simple format. Anybody can do it. Occupation, how's the work going? Are you working? What's happening? What are you doing for recreation? And then the last is the M, which is your message, is just that, you know, that you care, and it could be money situation. And then you're not talking about the business or nutrition or anything. You're just getting back in touch with humans that are stuck. They can't get out, and they love your call.
Sure. There was someone who was saying that, oh, it was Mary Kay. Mary Kay Nealand did a great post. Hi, Mary Kay. We have a couple of minutes, and maybe I'm going to give you a yell out because of your post about how older people are really missing that interaction. And this older woman cried when her son called her and she said, I'm lonely. Yeah. I was crying because she's lonely. Oh. So that was a really good post. And you say hi and where you're from, Mary Kay, and a little bit of your background, because we've heard from everybody, and you'll be the closing comment for today. You're on mute though at the moment. Unmute yourself, and we'll love to hear where you're.
There we go. Hi.
Hi.
Excuse the mess. We're packing to move to Florida, so everything's a mess. So anyway, yes, I'm Mary Kay Nealand. I am currently in Pasadena, California, you know, right by LA, heading to St. Augustine Beach, Florida. Can't wait to go back to my home state. And yes, I am a certified health coach. I think somebody who introduced themselves at the beginning of the call was too. I was introduced to Shaklee over 10 years ago. Love it. And then 5 years ago, started my wellness health coaching and knew exactly what to do. Shaklee's coming with me, hooked it on, and has, I've just been blessed beyond what I even imagined thus far with Shaklee, you know, coming along with me. My health business probably is flourishing more on the Shaklee side than on the coaching side. People love these products. They'll call me and say, we just want some Shaklee. We don't really need any coaching right now.
You know that stuff?
Yeah, that stuff.
You know that stuff that you gave me? Well, that's a great message, and we wish you a great journey to your new place. And I didn't realize that Florida was your original home
yeah.
location.
Yeah. True Florida.
Good. Well, have a safe journey. Everyone stay well, stay safe. See you tomorrow night for those that want to be on. If you've had guests here, please email me the name of your guests so that I know. I'd like to know who's who. And if you'd like, join us tomorrow night. And we'll see you next Wednesday if you just want to come to the Lunch and Learns. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Joanne.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Michelle, bye, everybody.